So a list like Sultai Energy is a little bit different from the 4-color energies listing around. They're not playing the Veraska. They're not playing
Yeah.
the other green possible energy payoff cards. It's a little more coordinated. I'd say a little bit better mana, even though Attune with the Aether does allow for some pretty flexible mana bases.
Oh yeah.
I really
People
like
are
this list,
calling for
actually.
that card to potentially be banned. So
It's crazy how, like, Lay of the Land is
Yeah.
being asked to be banned.
Yeah.
But I really like the Sultai list. It's a good list. I think his build is playing 1 to 2, if it's anything like the tier list, 1 to 2 Scarab Gods.
And I'm sure it is.
Yeah,
Darin is.
I'm sure it is.
He usually has some spice in most of his decks, but yeah.
But I'm really interested to see what Michael's list is going to be doing. It's white-black zombies. It could be a lot of Dread Wanderers, the 2/1 aggro creature that is allowed to come back from the graveyard for some recursion. It could have a ETB Drain Life effect sub-theme. There's a lot of different ways you can go with white-black zombies. Interested to see where he goes with it. So we're drawing up to 7 to see if we're going to keep our hands. As I was saying to the viewers, there's a lot of ways you can go with white-black zombies. You can go a very aggro deck with a lot of Dread Wanderers, or you could do more of an ETB Drain Life effect. There are a few zombies that care about that. There's Liliana's Mastery as a great enchantment. Yeah, a lot of aristocrats. Yeah.
So
There's a lot of different ways you could go. I'm interested. It feels like a deck that really wants to Rally the Ancestors back in Standard.
Right. Yes. Oh my gosh, that deck. All right, so we're off to the races. Sun-scorched desert here.
Yep. Dealing 1 damage.
Maybe it's not Sun-scorched desert.
No,
it might be the black desert.
The one that when you... If near Dreadlands.
If near Dreadlands, yes. Okay,
Yes.
that is definitely Glint Sleeve Siphoner.
Yeah,
Just an amazing card advantage.
Yeah,
it's like
great.
the standard Dark Confidant, essentially.
Yeah, we always get
So-
one. That is a Binding Mummy. Great tempo card. Every time a zombie enters the battlefield, a creature gets tapped from it. And seeing as how Michael's playing white-black zombies, there will be plenty of tapping. Looks like Darin is attuned with the Aether, getting his energy reserves up.
And there is Binding Mummy on screen for us.
Thank you very much. Finding an island here, I'd say.
Oh,
Forest.
Okay. So it looks like we have a little lost life here. The attack.
Yep.
Glint Sleeve, of course, does have Menace, so that Binding Mummy just going to get locked down and not be able to block. Draw and going to play a Swamp. Tap in some mana. See what he's got here. Oh.
So our life total reset. We'll get that fixed in just a minute. Currently it is 17 to 18 for Michael, with that Lord effect pumping the Binding Mummy up to a 3/3. Just resetting the app right now.
Yeah, there it is.
And we're back.
They figured it out.
So with a deck like Sultai Energy and a kind of unknown matchup like this, would you say Darin's trying to end the game as quickly as possible on the accrued value of his energy, or try grinding it out with the more Scarab God-esque finish?
I think if I was in Darin's shoes right here, I'd probably try and kill him as fast as possible, because you don't want to leave yourself open to any kind of shenanigans. Like, obviously, white-black zombies, Michael told me it's a bit of a brew, so
Yeah, there are a lot of lords too.
Yeah. So it
you
can't
can get
just
a
overrun
2/2
you.
very quickly up to 4/4
Yeah.
or even 5/5, and then the value off of your
Oh,
eternalized
yeah.
creatures start going away.
Absolutely. So if I were Darin, I would want to end the game as fast as possible.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Gather in some lands.
Yep. That was an island he just played, so he does have his colors.
Yeah, and maybe the reason he didn't attune for an island originally is because he already had it in his hand.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's pretty much the best card in the deck.
Yeah. Draw a
Well,
card.
Sweet. Well,
Thanks.
Whoever.
Matt.
We're both Alex.
We're both
so.
Alex, yeah, so we both appreciate it a
Yes.
lot.
All right. And again, Glint Sleeve going to get in the red zone here.
Again, Menace, going to be unable to block that creature. It looks like Michael has another Binding Mummy in his hand.
Yeah.
That will mean every zombie he plays taps 2 creatures down, meaning his zombies will basically be unblockable for the rest of the game. Yeah.
It's like Super Menace.
Super Menace. Like that is a Territorial Hammer Skull. Whenever that creature attacks, it taps a creature target opponent controls. It is not a zombie, though, so there will be no tap downs. Gets in with the Binding Mummy, offering a trade. And Darin takes it. All right, Michael passes turn. We're tied at 16-16.
And there's
Glitness.
Territorial Hammer Scroll for everyone.
Glitness Siphoner takes place in effect. Darin will draw an extra card, loses another life. That's where he lost that.
Pretty
Great
good.
card. Yeah,
Pretty good.
I'll take a card for a life just about any time.
Oh, yeah. Every time.
Using some energy.
Hey, Matt Damien.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Matt.
it.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate the host.
Ooh, that is a Scarab God.
That's pretty darn good.
That is going to be a problem for Michael.
So now he can start stealing things in graveyards, rebuying his creatures along with that Binding Mummy that is in Michael's graveyard as well.
So common answers in Michael's colors would be Hour of Glory. Don't think that's probably in his deck. Probably more common, though, Cast Out.
Cast out Faraska's Contempt.
Rascal's Contempt,
Yep.
yeah.
So
He does have double black up, so that is no problem if he doesn't miss this land drop. Untapping with Scarab Dog, though, with creatures in the graveyard, is going to be very hard for Michael to get back into the game.
very, very good card. And
Another Territorial Hammer Skull, and he's tapping down the Scarab God. And attacking for 2, 4 total. And Darin takes it. So Darin's going to draw another card on his upkeep and have mana to activate Eternalize ability that Scarab God has, grabbing the...
oh yeah, I think you definitely get Rogue Refiner. Draw a
yeah,
card, get
draw
some more
another card.
energy.
That'll be 3 cards this turn, a 4/4
So
on
good.
play. So the great part about the Scarab God is that ability is an instant speed ability, so he can wait till the end of next turn or during Michael's attack phase to snap in a blocker. Really can wait. He has a lot of time on his hands. He has a creature that is putting a lot of pressure on the board, as well as a card draw engine. Although Michael is able to burst through a lot of damage with the Territorial Hammer Skull, he's going to have to finish him off in one strike to really keep control of this game. Darin just did another Attune with the Aether. It looks like he got a Forest.
Attune with Aether, the gift that just keeps on giving. I mean, you joked earlier it's a lay of land, but it's so much more because it powers your glint sleeves. It powers your other energy enablers. Like,
Yeah.
it's so good.
And for the red builds, it makes their best removal spell
my
better.
gosh,
It
Harness
really
Lightning.
does just do everything
Yeah.
for this energy mechanic. Because Lay of the Land is not a card that is normally played in Standard
No.
at all.
No.
It's just not good enough. It's not card disadvantage, but it's a card that replaces itself, but for a card that you generally don't want.
Right.
But because of that added energy, you get to do whatever you want. You get to build whatever mana base you want, as long as you're staying within the energy cards.
I'm not.
Plus 1/0 and indestructible, the combat trick.
Okay, yeah,
Stamina.
Undying Stamina.
Undying
Yeah.
stamina, yeah.
So, yeah.
So he gets in there.
Follow up here. Gonna. Ooh, Hostage Taker.
Wow, yeah.
Pretty good.
Hostage Taker is probably going to take one of the Lord
Yeah.
just to prevent all of those other creatures from getting out of hand. Oh, he takes the untapped Territorial Hammer Skull. He's just going to get in.
And an untap here from Michael. Gonna take a draw. See what he has. Can't
Can't quite see his hand.
quite make that out, yeah.
That's another Binding Mummy. We mentioned that earlier. But a 2/2 on this board is just not going to affect it enough, even with the tap down ability in the future.
Yeah.
I guess it is a 3/3 with the Lord of the Accursed, but again, just not going to really get there. You think he attacks with Territorial Hammer Skull here? He can get through because of the Hostage Taker is the only blocker.
Yeah, I mean, just keep pressuring him. But
Yeah.
he's in a rough spot here.
Yeah, he's quickly running out of options. There still is that Rogue Refiner in the graveyard.
Yep. So Darin's gonna start getting big advantage here with this Scarab God.
And he does choose to attack. Getting in for 4. We have a trick or anything like that. Oh. Oh, wow. +2/+2 and Hexproof.
Pretty
Blossoming
good.
Defense. That is a huge blowout for Michael. He's going to eat the Territorial Hammer Skull, I will assume, just so he can keep any creature he wants back on defense. Oh, he chooses the Lord. Guess there are more relevant creatures.
Yeah. Although,
That's tough. I think Darin probably should have blocked Territorial Hammer Skull there.
yeah, but at this point, you don't. If you're Darin, you don't really know what. Like,
What's-
is this a dinosaur deck or is this a
Zombie deck.
zombie deck? It's kind of hard to tell at this point.
Is
So
this a mashup of both?
right, a Frankenstein of both, maybe.
Yeah. Checking the graveyard, seeing what valid reanimation targets he has. What's interesting about the zombies is Lord of the Accursed is a lord for the Scarab God zombies. A little extra value, because who said 4/4s were big
Yes.
enough?
Got to have those 5/5s, right?
5/5s are where it's at.
So yeah, everyone that's watching, again, we are Moonbase Market. We fired 8-player Legacy. We fired we fired 2 draft pods, 2  8-person draft pods.
We fired 1 standard pod and looks like 1 unpod today.
Yeah, so our event space is quickly filling up. And we got some casual players up here too. We don't just play
Hanging out,
Magic.
playing Commander, Kitchen
So-
Top.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Let's get back to the action here,
Yeah.
see what Darin's deciding to do with this Scarab God, if anything.
Looks like he is activating, bringing back that Rogue
Yeah.
Refiner we mentioned earlier. So that's going to be a 4/4 with the same ETB effects that it normally would have, drawing a card and gaining 2 energy
Pretty good. He's going to put it upside down so we can tell.
to denote it. It appears Darin does not have custom-made Eternalized Creature
Right.
tokens for every card valid in Standard.
You know, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. I want to meet that person who has like every card in
He just has
every
a binder.
creature
He
in
just
Standard.
whips out the binder. He's like, which one was that? Was that a...
I got all these.
Yeah. I don't want to meet that person. So Scarab God has a lot of text on it. One of it is, on his upkeep, Darin will get to scry 1, and Michael will lose 1 life.
Yeah.
1 being the number of zombies Darin currently controls.
Card is fairly good.
Yes. I remember I went into the Amonkhet the Hour of Devastation pre-release blind, not knowing
Not knowing
about the
anything.
gods. And my first game one, my opponent played on turn 5 Scarab God.
Seems
And
good.
I lost that game by a lot.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, they keep coming back.
Yeah, they don't
Did you know
die.
that? They don't ever. They die, but they come back.
They die, but they don't die. They stay
So
around.
scavenger grounds would be a way to deal with them, I guess.
Yes,
trigger
my
on
pre-release
Hey,
pod
man.
had.
It's possible.
Needless to say, the gods are very good.
Yes. Needless to say.
Scrying to the bottom, his opponent losing 1 life down to 13. Did he untap his lands there?
Blooming Marsh and tapped for Darin.
Yep. There's 2 mana available, 1 of any color he wants. 7 energy. I'm trying to see Michael's outs here. He doesn't have a second white for a Settle the Wreckage.
Yeah, I don't even know if he plays it either. He might,
Yeah.
but since he's like a, kind of an aggro deck, he might just not even play
Yeah,
it.
he's playing a lot of tap-down tempo creatures.
Yeah. Long Tusk. I was.
That's going to be very big.
Yeah.
And chat, the reason we are talking a little more with experience from Darin's perspective is we've seen this deck multiple times.
Correct.
Michael is bringing in a brew. We don't really know what it is or what it could be in there.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Gets in for 2 with the glint.
Yep. And a pass back. Michael gonna untap. Let's see what he draws. Yeah,
I do not know what card that was.
unfamiliar on that one as well.
Next turn, Darin is going to be able to reanimate that Lord of the Accursed if he wants to.
Pretty good.
That's going to make his zombie bigger, another zombie for it, and the clock is just ticking. We have a Long Tusk Cub that could swell up to a 6/6. We have a 4/4, a 3/4. Thank you, Eurydotus. Wizards needs to make a counter for how long energy is still in standard. Like a countdown clock
Right.
for
End of round timer for
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 s-
energy.
it appears. Is that beneath the sands? The one that's like 6 mana that makes 3 2/2s, but when you cycle it, you draw a card and you get a zombie? 'Cause he tapped 4 mana and he got a zombie, so
Did he draw a card? We were jabbering. We apologize.
it is. It has to be.
So Michael doing some math, trying to figure out whether he can afford to block or attack here or not.
I would say with how large the creatures
Yeah,
are right now, he cannot
probably
afford
not.
to attack.
So
Passes turn, untaps. Looks like Darin's about to take this game.
yeah, I mean, this is just his. He's going wide with.
Activations from
Yeah.
Scarab God. Yep, he's paying for another one. Going to take that Lord of the Accursed, I would assume. Yep.
Boy.
Wow.
And that's going to, of course, grow his zombie rogue refiner.
Added bonus.
And he's going to draw an extra card with Glint Sleeve here. Lose a life. That's fine. Do we have effects here from Michael, though?
Michael will lose 2 life after this draw.
Yeah. With the trigger from Scarab God.
Lose 2 life and scry 2.
Is that another rogue refiner? It's pretty good.
Yeah, I would play that.
Did he put it on the bottom of his library, though?
I mean,
He took
maybe
the
Darin
forest.
doesn't want to value as hard as possible.
Right.
Another Aether Hub, another energy. 7 energy.
Maybe there's something in his hand that he wants to cast.
He has a Fatal Push in hand. He has no way to trigger Revolt right now, though. Instead, he decides to cast Territorial Hammer Skull for any color of mana he wants from the Hostage Taker.
Oh, that way he has black mana up for a potential Fatal Push if
Yes.
he needs it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Can kill the zombie token, the Binding Mummy. He might just snap off the Binding Mummy right now.
Yeah. That looks like what he's about to do.
Yeah, get in
Yep.
there. 2 blocks available. 2's going to get through with Menace, as well as the Lord and a large creature like the Scarab God. And he's swinging the team, it looks like. And with activations from Long Tusk Cub, there's really no set of blocks that Michael can make to stay alive. Michael blocks Rogue Refiner, which is a 5/5 currently, due to the Lord of the Accursed buff. And I think he's dead anyway he blocks here, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He doesn't block Long Tusk Code. Yep, and he's
Yep,
scooping
looks
it
like
up.
a scoop, and yep. So
Yep.
Darin will take game 1 here.
So one of the things that the Sultai Energy list is able to provide is great consistency. It has so much value built into it. Just replacement card effects, creatures that will go out of control if unanswered. There's just a lot of grind and flexibility that Darin's deck has right now. And we didn't really see all that Michael had to offer with his list. He did stumble a little bit and was on the back foot for most of that game. But you can see the power of Sultai Energy there.
Yeah, I mean, it's
a great deck.
It's one of the best decks in the format.
Yeah.
So, let's see. We got the new camera set up for the sideboard game, so we can actually speak on what they're bringing in. Of course, Darin, not showing us too much.
No, thank you, Darin. Appreciate it. Michael with a black-white deck. I would assume he has to bring in a Wrath effect if he has it.
If he has it. Something to slow down Darin and something to get rid of Scarab God. I think Scarab God was obviously the linchpin of Darin's plan that
yes, I'd agree. Looks like Michael has a few cards. So one of the things that is fun for Standard right now is all the brewers know exactly what they're going to be going up against.
Oh, yeah.
And they can dedicate either their main board to a huge percentage of beating said energy decks, and it is still tough to beat these energy decks.
Oh, yeah.
Or try putting like almost a transformational sideboard of like 12 cards or something crazy like that, just to take out what you need and really attack and go after it. The one issue we're seeing though with Standard is these energy decks are hyper resilient to these sideboards.
Energy, the mechanic just does so much.
It does. It draws cards. It gets creatures bigger.
And your resources.
It fixes your mana.
It's like a self-sustaining resource too, because you know, we were just talking about Attune with Ether isn't just a lay of the land. It powers it powers your glint sleeve ciphers to draw you more cards.
Yeah. Which then draw you a Harness Lightning to kill another creature or something like that. Yeah.
So
it's just a very strong mechanic that I think Wizards may have slightly.
You think? just pushed
I think it's on record.
On the record, Wizards, you pushed it a little too far.
Put a little too far, a little uninteractable.
Yeah.
If there was like a cancel that said target player also loses 3 energy.
Yeah. I mean, they got Solemnity, but that card sees a literal 0 play. So
it's a 3-mana do-nothing enchantment in any matchup that's not energy.
Yep.
And sometimes it's too late. And the thing about energy right now is their creatures are good enough by themselves.
Yeah.
You can win the game by playing a constant stream of 3/3s that draw you a card.
Yeah, or literal Long Tusk Cub can win the game.
Yes.
Unchecked Long Tusk Cub has won plenty of games.
Mm-hmm.
So, looks like Darin's pretty much got what he wants to bring in.
Michael's still contemplating his sideboard.
And I'm trying to see in his hand. I can't really.
I just can't. There's a cast out. That's definitely coming in.
Gideon's intervention, was that?
Gideon's Intervention is a O-ring effect that
Right.
prevents the spell from being played again.
I think that's what that was.
I mean, it's an answer to Locust God or Problem Permanence.
Scarab God, yeah.
Scarab God, not Locust God. Locust God would be fun, but
I want to see it.
yeah. I really only see Locust God at Degenerate Commander tables right now. Let's wheel again. I have 40
Windfall
insects.
You. Yeah, that'd be sweet. But yeah, we are, of course, Moonbase Market.
Yep.
Moonbasemarket.com. We are hosting Friday Night Magic. This is actually our first standard stream. So, everyone, hope you're enjoying the standard action tonight. But like I said earlier, we do have 8 for Legacy, and we have already fired 2 draft pods of 8. And then there's a bunch of people just hanging out, playing casual. Some players playing Card Fight Vanguard, so check us out.
It's a game I'm not familiar with, but it looks awesome. These guys seem to be having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It should also be said that we're streaming almost every day.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah, we are.
At least 5 times a day. And as you can see on our schedule here, if you want to come check us out, we do Modern on Tuesdays. We got Legacy on Wednesdays. And then Friday Night Magic, we'll kind of rotate on what we stream, but we always do Legacy, Draft, and Standard. So, And we did just become an affiliate, so if you want to follow us, definitely. If you like our content, hit that follow button. And if you really like our content, we definitely appreciate subs. And we appreciate everyone who's checking us out right now.
Yeah.
You are the reason we do what we do. So, looks like we've both
So
decided.
Michael being on the play here, I think is going to help him a lot. We saw a lot of tempo cards out of his list. Having that tap down effect is going to put Darin a little more on the back foot. He doesn't run the red version, so he doesn't have the Harness Lightning as that amazing catch-all removal. He's running Fatal Pushes, we know. I didn't see really any other removal.
I didn't see anything, though, that was out of Fatal Push range.
Yeah.
If Revolt is active, so it will be.
And with the tap-down effects, Darin doesn't actually have that many ways to trigger Revolt. It appears that Michael's trying to tap down the team and just get in a race.
Yeah.
So Darin's not going to be able to snipe a 3-drop very easily with those tap-down effects.
Yeah, I think Michael's hope here is to get an early start and get some of those tempo cards played early and often.
Something like a Dread Wanderer into a Binding Mummy into a Lord of the Accursed.
Yep.
That would actually be a very hard, I think.
Unless he just goes like Long Tusk Cub, kill you.
Well, yes. You are not wrong, Alex. It's like Darin staring at an Attune with the Aether and Forest Hand, so he'll be keeping.
Right. Just naturally, unless it's
5 other lands.
Looks like Glint Sleeve Siphoner is one of Darin's cards. I can't quite see what's in. Well, Michael likes his hand, though, so that's good. Both keeping 7. Off to the races here.
Duress.
Okay.
Ooh, he's going to snipe that Attune with the Aether, it looks like.
Wow, he's got all the toys, though.
Yeah. He has the Hydra. He has the Rogue Refiner, Glint Nest, and a Walking Ballista. Wow, yeah. He has double Forest, though, so his mana is not set.
Yep.
That's where
he was kind of leaning on that Attune to get him to the promised land.
So this is where Michael can capitalize. This is going to be a pretty tough converted mana cost hand he has. He has a lot of black, a lot of blue.
It's funny, we didn't even mention like Duress in the sideboarding plans for Michael, but it's a good one.
Yeah. Elfnir Dreadlands again. Pass turn.
Definitely not.
I feel like
not the start he wanted.
Michael really wanted to play a 2-drop there.
Yeah.
Another Forest. And Walking Ballista X1, I would assume. Just get something out on the board.
Seems like a solid play. Ooh.
Instead, it's a Long Tusk Cub. That's a slightly more solid play.
Gosh.
So now Michael's going to need either...
Oh, there we go.
I got a Plains, so we're going to see...
Looks like he has a bunch of white cards in his hand, too.
Yeah. Territorial Hammer Skull trades... Actually, blocks Long Tusk Cub very well right now. It's a 2-3. But if this is an Attune, it's an Attune. And that's what you were mentioning in the sideboarding. So he just attuned with the Aether. He was looking at a 2-3. This long tusk cub can now basically get in for free.
Yeah.
Because he can attack and pump it to 3/3 if the block happens eating it.
Yeah, I mean, some people, players better than myself, are calling for either Attune or Long Tusk Cub to get banned. Like, geez.
That seems really aggressive when you look at the history of standard bannings.
Well, the last 2 years have just been abysmal with these bannings.
Yeah, you have
Reflector
Marvel,
Mage.
Reflector Mage.
I was super sad about that.
You were?
Oh, yeah.
Reflector
Card
Mage
so
was
good.
such a annoying card.
It was
As
so
someone who
good.
played Blue-White Spirits with Reflector Mage
Yep.
in Standard,
Yep. Same.
I am a tempo player. I love jamming.
Like your Delver of Secret style decks.
Yes, little Mausoleum Wanderers,
Yes.
get them bigger.
And, yep, Glint Sleeve.
Glint Sleeve, mana fixed, got in for 2. Didn't have to pump because he could threaten the pump.
Yep.
Saving that energy to be used elsewhere, drawing a card next turn.
Yeah. Not having a turn 2 play here for Michael was pretty big.
Yeah. Michael contemplating his decisions. Binding Mummy. That is the tapper of the mummies. It is 2 mana, tap a creature, a 1/2 for 1. Subtype zombie. I was unable to remember the collector's code or the artist guys. I'll try doing better
scrub.
next time. Scrub. Tapping down. Summoning Sickness.
So,
Looks like he tried activating the ability while it still had Summoning Sickness.
gotcha. Yep.
Would have probably tapped down the... Either one of them would have been a valid option to tap down, honestly.
Yeah, probably Long Tusk Cub because Darin wants to generate value off of this Glint Sleeve. So
Drawing a card off Glint Sleeve, and then drawing a card for turn. That card advantage is so huge. Darin has a really awkward mana hand, but drawing 2 cards a turn is definitely going to...
yeah, it's gonna dig him out.
Looks like that's a Blooming Marsh, black-green. He still doesn't have blue mana for that Rogue Refiner in hand. But this is where these creatures are good enough to take over the game by themselves. He doesn't... So Michael's going to have to take this.
Yeah.
He needs to have that tap-down effect later on in the game. And pumping the Long Tusk Cub. All right. Man, now that there's some energy commitment into the Long Tusk Cub, really wish he had like a cast out or even a fatal push, something just to get rid of it.
Wow. Here's
But a second
another
Long Tusk Cub, wow.
It's going to start going wild with this energy here.
A Fumigate at this point.
Yeah.
3 for 3, but these creatures are outclassing Michael's right now.
Oh, yeah. And it looks like he drew a Field of Ruin. Definitely
Yeah.
not the card he wants to draw here.
I wonder if he's going to keep mana open for the tap-down effect. Lord of the Accursed.
Okay, that's a good one.
That makes his zombie a 2/3. He's going to attack, get in. He's getting in with the tapper as well. Wow.
Maybe thinking that he wants to race as opposed to tap down his creature, but
Darin, without any other effects, could deal... Well, actually, the energy will go away due to the Glint Nest. Still 7. So he's looking at a 2-turn clock, Michael is.
so
Something like Liliana's Mastery or something that could go wide
yeah.
would help Michael get back into it.
Bantu's Last Reckoning.
Bantu's Last Reckoning.
It's a card that Michael could cast to try and clean up this
Now, if I'm
board.
Darin, I don't overextend here. I think he's got the game fairly well in hand.
Yep.
Just
He's-
for the Wrath effects. The only Wrath
Yeah.
effects in the format are in Michael's colors.
Correct.
And he's already in a fairly commanding position as far as I would say.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be drawing extra cards. He has creatures that are trading up with Michael's creatures.
Yeah, I mean, he just played one of his best creatures.
Yeah.
Bristling Hydra is just a house. Pretty hard to get off the board
Is
once
it
it's
a
there.
3-2 or
It's a 4-3.
4-3? I thought it was a 4-3 after. Wow.
Yeah, no.
That is
They pushed
nuts.
it a lot.
It's nuts. Gets in with the team. And he played the Bristling Hydra before to get the energy counters to threaten combat tricks with Long Tusk Cub. And he is pumping the Long Tusk Cub, the other one, diversifying his assets. He's going to get in for 8 damage total. Putting Michael to 5.
4-3. Yeah.
Wow.
He's a big scare. That's like got to be one of the best Hydras they've made in a while.
Yeah. You're telling me Hero's Bane does not make the cut?
Not on my top 64 of.
Top 60 of Hydras?
Yeah.
What about Ivy Elemental? It's technically not a Hydra, but it's the purest Hydra we have.
Right? I loved Hydra.
Or Endless One. That's the purest Hydra we ever got.
Nah, I loved Ivy Elemental. That's like whenever I first started to play Magic was when Ivy Elemental was a rare and now it's a common.
Yeah. How the mighty have fallen.
Right. How the Ivy have fallen.
Ooh. Ooh.
We're punny here at Moonbase.
We're trying to keep it light. So he played another Territorial Hammer Skull, and he has mana to activate the
Binding Mummy.
Binding Mummy. I think he can't make an attack here if he wants. Well, obviously he can't make an attack here if he wants to live. He has to keep that Binding Mummy activation up either. So he's going to have to either kill a creature with a Fatal Push or stop playing cards right now. That's Fanbearer, sorry, not Binding Mummy. And he's tapping 2 mana, tapping the Fanbearer. Tapping down one of the Long Tusk Cubs.
So Darin's going to play a Rogue Refiner, get some energy, draw a card.
7 energy, multiple activations across the board for Long Tusk Cub and Bristling Hydra.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, Darin's
He's actually
got.
presenting lethal with either an unblocked Long Tusk Cub or Bristling Hydra at this point.
Yeah. Only thing Darin doesn't have here is the Scarab God, but other than that, he's got all the hot toys right now. Michael gonna decide what he wants to block.
That Menace chip damage just so
Oh
annoying.
my gosh, so
Yeah.
good, so
it's
good.
done 8 damage this
I
game?
always forget about Menace too. On like
Yeah.
literal every card that has Menace, I forget about it.
Yeah. Menace is one of those like sneaky great keywords.
Yeah, it's
Just makes this situation here where it's a 3-on-3 just not favorable at all. Actually,
And in some
to the point where it's lethal.
in some matchups it might as well be flying.
Yeah.
Because like
You don't run enough creatures.
exactly.
Obviously, it looks much worse against tokens and
Yeah, of course.
other strategies like that. But right now, it looks like he's going to double block the Bristling Hydra, forcing him to put an energy counter in there. And single block the Long Tusk Cub, getting eaten by that.
I mean,
He has to pay 6 energy to keep the Bristling Hydra alive. Again, though, he has a Long Tusk Cub.
I think this is a strong block though. Like this
was
is a good block.
This was a good block.
And it looks like Darin's
Doing
gonna
it.
activate. So take down. Well, maybe. Having a discussion of what dies and what lives.
Everything for Michael dies. I'll make that discussion a little simpler. Michael takes 2, and at this point, it is Bantu's Last Reckoning
Or
and
bust.
the like, or bust.
Yeah. And Darin is up a game, so this is game 2.
And Darin wisely decides not to play any more cards out of his hand. He's already in a pretty commanding position. That looks like a Lord of the Accursed.
That's not
Not a Bantu's
not
Last
what he wanted to draw, definitely. And he's gonna
And
scoop him up.
scooping it up.
And
Looks
Darin
like Darin got there.
Key gonna win round 1. go to 1-0.
It looks like he's telling him about Ilfner Dreadland's activated ability to give -2/-2 to a creature. Could do that in response to a long toast
Sure.
activation or something like that. You still are sacrificing a land drop. Yeah,
So-
that was,
Yeah, Darin going to go to 1-0.
yeah.
Michael's
Brew going to fight in the 0-1 bracket, it appears.
Yeah, I mean, that second game, though, not having a 2-drop really hurt him, I think.
Yeah, it was pretty
It would have been a
obvious
different
that
game, I think.
He
if-
had that duress off the top, sniped a bad mana hand, and then if he would have followed it with Plains Binding Mummy, then you're looking at a totally different game. He's going to play a Territorial Hammerskull next, followed by the Lord of the Accursed. That's a lot of tapping effects and a lot of creature damage coming
Yeah.
in very early. But missing that 2-drop means he gave Darin enough time to find better mana. Also, Long Tusk Cub is a great Magic card, turns out.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is very, very good.
All right, well, that was round 1. We have 8.5 minutes left in this round. We will...
We have 8.5 rounds tonight? No.
Oh!
No, we have. It's a 4-round tournament.